All right, welcome back. Another episode of SuperCoach podcast for Rough Rigs, joined by special guest Marco.
What's happening all?
Grand finals from last year in the Rough Rigs Cup.
Mate, that was rough. That was
pipped
rough.
at the post.
Yep, that was rough. I remember my semi-finals, I was happy with the win. In the final, who was it? Georgia, was it?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah.
Mate, she absolutely killed me. I think I scored like 1,100 and she got like fucking 1,500. She absolutely roasted me.
It was last round of the season. Your team was plagued with injuries and
Mate, all I
the
had,
mass restings. And
Yep. I think I had like 0 trades left with like 4 weeks ago from memory. So, mate, it was absolutely like...
You limped your way into the
shit
final
house.
and then...
Pretty much. Anyways.
Well, how'd you go last week?
Not too bad. I got about 1,200 points-ish.
Yeah.
Turbo captain saved my life, I'd say, for sure, definitely. Most of the team I was pretty happy with.
Yeah.
A couple of players, could have been better, but overall, a couple of cheapies going to make some good money, so I was happy with that. So can't go wrong.
I think early on in the season, you kind of... You don't need to emphasise the actual score that you got. It's more so the makeup of your team. And
exactly right.
Whether you've got the right cheapies, whether you're happy with your setup. And I think as long as you're happy with that, then you don't need to trade too hard. You don't need to kind of carry on and freak out too much.
Exactly.
If you're looking at your team, you're like, I mean, all sorts. There's, players there that aren't doing what I thought they'd do, then you're in a bit of strife. But
exactly right. Yeah.
As long as the players that you've got, even if they might not have scored well, but if they've got the role that you kind of expected them to, I think you can't be too upset.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the main thing is you want to make money with the cheapies as much
it.
as possible, and then hopefully set up for the future. Try, plan around the origin, the buys, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So at the start, it's just all about trying to make money, and then later on get your guns and all that stuff. So
that's it. I got 12.55, which I'm pretty happy with. Sandon Smith did well.
Yeah.
Got saved by a try. He wasn't looking great, but he did all right. May was outstanding. Like,
mate, he is awesome.
I can't believe, I think his ownership's about 50%. I can't believe how that is
pretty
not
sure
close
his
to 100.
first half stats were like 12 hit-ups and like 20 tackles or like 5 tackle breaks. Something crazy. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
He was at least 50 points at halftime. I can't remember, but mate, he is so good.
He's insane. He just scores points so easily, in base. Like, he just runs, he tackles, he gets so many offloads. I think he got like 10 offloads or something insane like that. The tackle busts, he does it all. So
for sure.
78 is that's almost his floor,
mate. Like, that's like Payne Haas. Payne Haas numbers right there.
Yeah,
So
Corey Horsburgh, obviously in the Vegas round, got 61.
Awesome.
Was outstanding as well. Played big minutes. White from the Roosters, 43 points. This was a tough watch for me because he played 35 minutes in the first half.
He did.
Was on about 35 points, and I thought, oh well, worst case scenario, he probably plays 55, 60 minutes.
50 points roughly. Yeah.
But just Robbo, he didn't want him to play. He came on with like maybe 8 minutes to go or something like that.
Yeah. It was unusual because he's more like a big runner.
Yeah.
He comes in and takes all the hit ups. And I thought, obviously your team's getting smashed at the moment. Just give him a couple of minutes so you just get used to it a little bit more. But interesting.
I think it's just going to be another year of, like, we've seen last year what Robertson kind of did with May, and he was playing 60 minutes one week, and then he played him 30 minutes the next week. I think it's going to be similar things, to be honest. So he's probably one that you probably don't want to play just because you don't know what Robertson's going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Royce Hunt, 21 points, played 30 minutes. Kind of expected, to be honest.
I didn't pick him up. I just had a feeling that his minutes wouldn't be there. Or, I just didn't like it too much.
I picked him up more out of hope than anything. I didn't see it happening, but I thought, he might be able to score a try early and make a little bit of money. But
exactly right. I mean, for that price, it's just a punt. Just hopefully make some money. Even if it makes 100K, it's 100K. So
Jacob Preston, I actually traded him. I didn't have him in the last episode we did. I had, I think, Feeder there. I traded him out. I also had Tuolungi. He's not there either now because just with the news of Moses out for 6 weeks, I didn't want to go anywhere near him, to be honest.
And now Dylan Brown.
And now it looks... he's actually been dropped Tuolungi this week, which... probably deserved, to be honest. I don't think he's ever playing first grade again I think he's done, after that performance. He was awful.
He's done for sure.
I've got Tino back in this week, so that'll help. But
nice.
Sayfarth, 36 points. It was with a HIA.
I know. It does burn me because I'm a Sayfarth owner as well, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think he plays 80 minutes, I think, without the HIA, and he probably gets about 45 points. So, if that happens, you you're pretty happy-ish.
Yeah.
Considering he didn't see any ball. Like the ball very rarely went his side. It was all kind of going down.
From memory, I think he had like 3 runs in total, like something very small.
Yeah. So you'd think he gets more involved. Playing Parramatta this week, he probably gets some attacking stats,
for sure.
and some tackle breaks.
For sure.
Things like that. So I think he's definitely a hold, at least for another week. And then just see what his minutes are like without that HIA, whether he plays 80. Because 80 minutes on the edge, I think he's at that price, 435K. I think he's pretty good value there.
I think so as well. Especially in the team right now, they've got a bit more attacking threat now with Luai there. So he can probably get some more, line breaks, maybe tries as well. Yeah. So as long as he gets around 40 points base, then you're hoping he gets some attacking stats, maybe gets 60 points, so can't go wrong.
Yeah. Jawetsky, probably butchered his name, but he did well. 66 points with a try, though, so he probably gets about 30 points without it. A lot of people jumping on this week. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think if you started with him, great, but it's also one thing to remember, round 1 is probably the least significant points.
Exactly,
because with the way SuperCoach works, it's a 3-round rolling average, so the round 1 scores are going to drop off straight away. They're going to have one price increase. If your player does really well in round 3, that score stays with them for 3 weeks in their rolling average. So it's probably the least important week. If your players did well, great, but don't read too much into it. Same as if they did poorly. So I think it's just for the most part, if as long as your player has the role that you expected them to, I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't think about trading him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you want to give him like a bit of chance. Usually with me, like my tactics are like, I'll give him 2-3 weeks, see how they go before the price drops or price rises, all that stuff, you know, because you can't really judge off 1 round. And I mean, look, it's a good price, but his base is just, it scares me. Yeah. That's the only thing. And they've got a couple injuries. So once the boys come back, then you expect him to be on the bench maybe So.
Yeah, well, Pia Cora, obviously he played like 30 seconds and got sent in.
I couldn't believe that. Poor lad.
But he's a quality player. He probably comes back at some point.
Yeah, you think so, yeah, definitely.
But I'm going to...
Vamuga, whatever.
The Warriors player that's on the bench, 16 points.
Killed it.
Yeah, just didn't get the minutes. So, I mean, look, he's probably one that you can hold on for another week, but he's not going to lose money at that price, but he's not going to make you much, I don't think, by the looks of it. Yeah. But yeah, give it a week, see what options are out there next week, and then try and make that trade. I wouldn't rush into things this week, though. Hubner did really well, I thought. 45 minutes, he looked really good.
Yep, big time.
He's a bit feisty of a player, isn't he?
He is.
He likes getting into the middle and stuff, which is good. I like it.
A bit like John Bateman, roughly, same thing.
So yeah, he looks like a really promising talent. Cleary at halfback, obviously in the Vegas game, 68 points. I'll take it.
I mean, there was no real try assist. There was a lot of try contributions, but no try assist. So he could have got a lot more points if it was a bit more involved. But I mean, he'll take it.
Duffy, 27 points. I'm not too concerned about it. Like the Cowboys looked awful, and he still got 27 points. Yeah, he did goal kick one, and then Drinkwater kicked the other one. So I don't really know what's going on there. Yeah. If Drinkwater gets the goal kick, I'm a little bit off Duffy, but we'll see what happens with that. Metcalf at 5'8", 12 points. Obviously, a lot of people panicking about him. I'm kind of on the fence a little bit. I think this is going to be his worst score all season.
I think so as well.
So, yeah, he got a lot of negative points. I think he got about 10 points in negative points with the misconversions, with the errors, missed tackles. I think he got like -6 in missed tackles or something. So a lot of negatives for him. He kicked 2 goals. Oh, he had 2 attempts at goal and missed them both. So he didn't get that's a 12 point turnaround just there.
Exactly right.
I think you expect probably a low of 30 from him going forward.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Warriors did look awful. He didn't look great either. Yeah. So,
I mean, they didn't look the best, but I mean, it is first week. Yeah. Just give him a bit more time, I reckon. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to panic sell him anytime soon. I think he's a good player. I think he's solid. I think obviously goal kicking is a big aspect to it, and then also he's going to be the leading man for them. Yeah, you would think. Yeah. I'd give him maybe 2-3 weeks max. If he's not producing anything, then I'll probably look to move on. So.
For the centres, this is where I kind of
Mate, you killed it.
did all right in the centres.
Yeah, big time.
Made some big moves actually that I didn't talk about last week. Just kind of last minute decisions. I was having a look at Garrick and I just really liked Manly's draw.
Yep.
I really wanted to get behind Garrick, so brought him in. Basically, got rid of Fafita, cheapened up the second row, and got in Garrick. So I got him 86 points. Very happy with that. Dylan Lucas, I was really impressed with.
Mate,
75.
he is
just
an absolute workhorse.
Without really any attacking stats.
He's
there.
a workhorse, man.
Just gets through his work. And he's just someone in the centre wing, which is such a volatile position that you can just bank 60 to 70 points every week.
Yeah, for sure.
You're cheering.
For sure.
Greg Marju, 83 with a try. Very, very solid.
He looked really good actually on the weekend. A lot of line breaks, a lot of tackle busts.
Yeah.
I was happy with him.
Yeah. He looked back to kind of his tackle breaking best.
Back to 2 years ago, 2023. Yeah.
So if he can just get on to the end of a few more tries and he's going to kill it this year, I think.
For sure.
Campbell Graham, 44 points. I'm not too upset with that. I think he's only like 5% ownership.
It's a good pod. Yeah, definitely.
But he got shifted out to the wing. He was looking really good at the centres. Got shifted to the wing, so he didn't quite get as much base, I think, in the wing.
Yeah.
So, he's one to keep an eye on, I think. With as I said, no real attacking stats. 44 points from a centre is pretty all right.
I think it'd be all right. He was actually one of the guys I was looking at for quite a long time, but then Latrell got injured. I was a bit put off with that.
Yeah.
But he's got great base.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of the best defensive centers from memory.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But his base is right there. It's just more so can he get the attacking stats with the team that they got right now? So
the only thing is he's on that right hand side, which obviously the Rabbitohs like going left a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
If he was on the left centre, I'd be all over him. But
yeah, for sure.
The right, that does concern me, but I think his base is enough to kind of hold with him at least for a little bit. And then the cheapies, Purdue didn't do great, 28 points though, without any tries or any real attacking stats at all.
Yeah.
Isn't too bad from a cheapie centre, to be honest.
Especially for a team that got smashed, so.
Yeah. All it's going to take for him to score a try, and he's going to start
make some money.
As we said, round one, the scores don't matter too much. So, Shibasaki 83,
mate,
he looked actually pretty good.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I brought him in last second. And, mate, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Again, he's probably not one that you're looking at trading in this week if you don't have him.
No.
But next week, if he can go off again, he just doesn't have much base. But if he gets the attacking stats, and Brisbane look like they're going to.
They looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all your attacking players from Brisbane are going to kind of be plenty of value this year. Even your Reece Walsh, who's pretty high in terms of his value. I think he's just going to keep increasing that.
100%, yeah.
Just with how Brisbane look. They look so fast, sharp with everything. So, Robert Toya, he looked incredible, mate, 90 points.
He is a rookie of the week for me. Yeah. He looked amazing.
There was a couple of try assists, but even in base, he probably gets 40 points. So,
dude, so good.
So many tackle breaks, and he just looked unreal. In a Roosters side that was pretty heavily beaten, he was by far and away their standout.
He was awesome. No, I loved him.
Onto the fullbacks, Tom Trbojevic, 113. Very, very good. He was in everything. I was surprised he scored that low, actually, just based on watching him and how involved he was.
Exactly, yeah. Especially in the first 10 minutes, they scored like 3-4 tries. Like straight off the bat, it was all Turbo helping them out. And it was like, mate, this guy's going to go for 150 points, honestly.
Yeah. So I think he's in for a big, big year, Turbo.
Oh, for sure.
Especially with their early draw. They're playing a lot of games at Brookie, so big things for him.
Yeah.
Kalen Ponga, I've got him in my flex position, 82 points.
Nice.
Pretty happy with that. Considering the Knights only scored 10 points.
I know.
To get 82 points, I think there's going to be plenty of games where Newcastle get a few more points than that, and he's right up there. So he looked really good, really involved in kind of everything. Everything was coming through him. So,
well, especially with the news with Dylan Brown, that's he could be going there very soon. It will just add more attacking stats for him. More appeal. So.
We'll be interested to see what they do actually with their halves combination with Dylan Brown coming next year. Whether they're kind of planning for that, they're looking for whether they look to play him 7 or 6. Will be interesting, and how they kind of plan this year around that. Could make a difference.
Yeah.
I think personally, someone like a Jackson Hastings at the 7 with Dylan Brown, I think would work really well.
I'm a big fan of Hastings. Good player.
Wait and see what happens. Iongi, he was really good. 69 was
he looked good
in a team that was absolutely just I don't even have words for it, to be honest.
I'm over it. 22 years of depression. I'm over it, dude. Like, I'm sick of it.
Not a good time to be a Parramatta supporter.
Nah, not at all.
But
he looked active. Like he took a lot of runs actually.
Yeah.
So it was good to see. Like I think he was, I could be wrong, maybe 18 or 20 runs he took. So it's a good sign to see.
Yeah. That's my team. So
nice.
Let's go through team lists.
Go for it.
Just quickly, because obviously most teams are similar to last year, but first game, Knights and the Dolphins. For the Dolphins, Fini Fuiaki, he's out. He actually looked really good. I was impressed with him.
He did, actually.
Obviously out this week with the concussion, but he should be back next week. He looks like he could play 80 minutes on the edge. Obviously, I want to see it first before I bring him in.
Exactly,
he's someone maybe round 4 or 5 that I could definitely see myself.
That was actually one of my main concerns because I actually had him in my team for a long time, and then I knew Dolphins had a pretty big pack, so I was a bit concerned about the minutes. So I traded him out for Kobe Hetherington, who did okay. He got 2 line breaks, so we'll see. But
the other one's Gilbert as well in the 13. He looked really good.
He did actually.
But yeah, for the Dolphins, Fini Fuaki, he's out. Lemu, he's out as well. Keely goes into the starting pack in the starting second row.
Yep.
I don't think he's much of an option. It's kind of just a 1 week thing for him. I think once Lemu and Funi Fuaki is
come back,
he'll be out. And then a couple of players as well. Nikorima.
Yeah, Nikorima, gotcha.
Got there in the end.
Yep.
And Nichols, Mark Nichols, they are back in the team as well. With Mark Nichols coming back, I wonder whether Gilbert plays less minutes.
Possibly, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Obviously, the 2 second rows out, but I don't think they would be sharing minutes with Gilbert anyway. So it'll be interesting. I want to give it another week, but he did look really good. I think he scored about 50, 55 just in base.
Yeah, exactly.
So if he can keep that up, and he played big minutes though. So I'm just worried with the HIA as well.
Yeah.
Whether that was inflated.
Yeah.
I just want to give it another week just to see what happens, what his minutes are like, what their rotation's like. And then if he does the same again, then round 3, I'm looking at getting him in, I think, because he looked really, really good.
I agree. Yep.
For the Knights, not much really changes. Adam Elliott is back, and that's kind of it. Brody Jones is out, so not much to talk about there.
Yeah.
Warriors and the Manly Seagulls, obviously playing in New Zealand.
Yep. Geez, you go from America to New Zealand. That'd be a long trip for them. Yeah. Even regardless, go back to Australia from America, but I mean, still
a lot of time in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Hopefully they do well this week.
For the Warriors, 17, same 17. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. They've got Tamari Martin on the extended squad. Whether he is a late change, I'm not too sure. So it's probably one to keep an eye out if you're a Metcalf owner, just to see what happens there. I'd prefer Metcalf playing with Tamari Martin. I think he takes a lot more control with Tamari Martin in the side. I think with Harris Tavita, it's a little bit more even in their distribution. So, just want to wait and see. For Manly, not much really SuperCoach relevant.
No.
Takiaho is out, but I doubt many people would have him.
No.
Panthers and the Roosters. A lot of SuperCoach relevant players in this. I think it's going to be a bit of a one-way traffic here for the Panthers.
Big captain option over here. Cleary for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. To'o is back. So he's one to look at. Probably not this week, but he's always a good SuperCoach option every year. He's in the top probably 4 centres. So
100%.
So Paul Alamotti, he goes to the centre. Garner goes back to the bench. And Casey McLean, who had that HIA in like this early on.
So unfortunate. Yeah. So unfortunate for the owners.
If you're a Casey McLean owner and you're watching Vegas and
you want to keep it
ruined.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, he's back, so he doesn't have to miss a week because obviously they have the 10-day period between their games anyway. Worked out well for him. For the Roosters, Victor Radley, he's out. a debutant who is Feketi.
That bloke Radley always gets concussed.
Oh, he's either suspended or concussed.
Mate, he's poor bloke.
I reckon he's in his career he would have missed more games than he's played.
100%, just from concussion.
Yeah,
nothing else.
Yeah, Makatoa is onto the bench for the Roosters. Who I've got to say I didn't even know he signed with the Roosters.
Yeah,
so
same, no clue.
That's news for me.
There you go.
But the one thing that I am interested is seeing Billy Smith on the extended bench.
Yep.
If you're a Mark owner,
just a Mark. Yep.
Or a Robert Toya owner, are you concerned by that? Because I feel like they really rate.
Yeah, they do.
Billy Smith. So I feel like
I've heard about that. Yeah,
if he's fit, I reckon he's in the team. It's just whether or not he replaces.
Well, to be fair, Toya looked really good last week. So hopefully that catches there enough eye for him to stay in the squad.
Yeah.
We'll see after this week, but yeah, I do know they're a big fan of Billy Smith, and
I guess the other option is you can play Mark.
Yeah.
On the wing. Dom Young didn't look great.
No, he didn't. No.
But he was one of their best last year, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, even in the trials, he looked pretty average. So
it's just tough because, I mean, they've lost so many players from last year.
Yeah.
This is sort of rebuilding their team right now. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think that's pretty much it for them. Yeah, Spencer Leniu is still out. He's back next week. Sia Wong, he does go into the back row.
Actually, because Leniu's going to come back next week, is that going to affect Nafua White even more?
I don't think so, just because I think Leniu doesn't play big minutes anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think it affects him too much. Maybe it'll take a couple minutes off him. Maybe he goes back to the bench instead of starting. But I think his minutes probably stay the same regardless.
Because it was weird. In the first half, White was pretty much played throughout the whole first half, and then he didn't come on until like the last 10 minutes we talked about before. So hopefully he picks up his minutes, but yeah, he's a great player. I love him for White. I think he's awesome.
He looks great when he's on the field.
For sure.
I just can't trust Trent Robinson. I don't know what he's doing with his rotations. It's very strange.
It's risky. Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's been hot take this, but I think he's been helped with his team. I think anyone could have coached them to a premiership, to be honest.
Right.
When you've got Cooper Cronk, James Tedesco, Sonny Bill Williams in your team.
True, yeah.
It's pretty easy to win a comp.
100%, yeah, I understand.
I don't think they'd take much coaching, but anyway, we will see.
You said it, not me.
Shout out to Trent Robinson.
Yeah.
Big fan of the show. Not anymore. Dragons and the Rabbitohs, Saturday, 3 p.m. This will be a good game, I think.
I'm keen. I'm keen. Mate, honestly, I like the Dragons.
I
like their team.
Well, Blake Laurie, he comes back from a hamstring injury. Couchman is out with that ACL. That's unfortunate.
Jeez. Poor bloke.
That's kind of it for them.
Yeah.
Hamish Stewart is one that I wanted to touch on. Coming off the bench. Bottom dollar.
Yep.
Now, I think he's scored about 40 points in 40 minutes. 198K, 42 points in, I would say, 42 minutes.
He could be one to look out for sure, from the front row as well.
From a front row. So he's kind of that cheapy front row that we've been screaming out for.
Yep.
I want to give it another week to see if that's kind of locked in.
For sure.
They do have a couple of forwards coming back. There's talk about them getting David Clemmer.
Yep. Heard about that.
So I'm a little bit unsure, but if he can maintain that role, then he's a really good buy. But there's enough question marks there for me to kind of be cautious of it.
Yeah. Give him another week, see how he goes, and we'll go from there.
Give it another week, see what happens with this whole David Clemmer thing.
Yep, exactly.
Because I think he's probably the first one out of that pack that drops out.
You think so, yeah.
You can't imagine them dropping Blake Laurie and
Little, or like Fatela Mariner,
Emre Gula. That they're probably Couchman, maybe Couchman. I don't know, but it's promising signs that he was playing that. Shane Flanagan obviously rates him to playing that many minutes in round one on debut. So for the Rabbitohs, Fletcher Myers is in for Jack Whiten, and that's kind of it. Munro's out on the wing as well. Someone making their debut, but you wouldn't buy him, so no. The interesting one though, Lewis Dodd, he's on the extended bench, but he hasn't found his way into the starting side. They've gone with Humphreys.
Humphreys, yep.
So that's promising if you're a Humphreys. I've seen a couple of teams with Humphreys.
Yeah, well, wasn't in the one that was going to contest, what's the hooker's name? Mamazelos at one stage.
Yeah.
They were saying Humphreys was going to be the one.
Well, he's been more of a hooker in the lower grades.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I heard.
But he did look really good playing halfback. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting because they signed Dodd over as kind of to be the starting half. But,
exactly, yeah.
He didn't do too well in the trials and, he's killed it.
Who knows?
So we'll see. Well, wait, you just never know with Wayne, do you? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, no.
Good coach, though.
Promising. Oh, great coach.
Awesome coach, yeah.
Not going to talk shit about him.
No, not at all. Even though Trent.
Next game, Cowboys and the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks.
Mitchie.
Yes. No Mitch here to talk about him, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. No, he wasn't happy that day.
No.
Don't blame him.
I think they win this week, though, against the Cowboys.
You think so, yeah.
Tamalolo, he's back on the extended bench. Clifford is 18th man, but he's not in the team, which is good for, what's the halfback? Duffy.
Yep.
So that's kind of it. Actually, Nanai, he's been, I think, dropped. I don't think he's been injured or anything, but he's not even in the 21. So I think he's been dropped. He didn't look great.
He didn't actually. No, there's a bit. Yeah, I don't know. He's still quite young.
Yeah,
obviously, I know he's been in the footy for about maybe 3-4 years, and he's only 21 years old, if that. But yeah, he's been dropped completely. So
yeah,
and he's come in. Kai O'Donnell. Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's in the 21. He's Nanai, but he's been dropped. I don't think there's an injury there or anything like that. So interesting. For the Sharkies, same 17. So nothing really to talk about there.
No.
Yeah. Raiders and Broncos, the Saturday night game.
This should be good.
Tamale still in the team.
Yep.
Albert Hopewade is back though on the wing.
Yep.
So I'm a little bit cautious because I think Savage comes straight back in next week.
You think so, yeah.
So
definitely.
if you're a Tamale owner,
you'd be sweating.
Yeah.
You'd be sweating for sure.
I'd be worried. I've seen a lot of people trying to trade him in this week. I certainly wouldn't be doing that.
I can see why. He looked good. Like, he looked really good.
He looked great, but
the thing is,
you don't know whether he's going to be there next week. So.
Exactly. And you can't really trust Ricky as well. So, no.
Not out of all the players, or all the coaches you don't want to trust, it's probably not him.
Not at all.
But yeah, Tarpany, he's out as well with that suspension. So Papali'i, he goes to prop, and Smithy starts at lock. Matty Nicholson, he's onto the bench.
Yep.
He's one to keep an eye on. Not while he's on the bench, but if he can find his way into the starting second row, he's certainly one that could be quite Supercoach relevant. I think he's got that game in him. From what I've seen. But yeah, obviously Xavier Savage is out, so...
Yeah, I will say quickly, Hosking, mate, he looked good.
He looked really good. Yeah. He's one that I've got my eye on as well.
I got him in last second, and very happy with that.
Again, as we spoke about, Ricky Stewart, I don't trust him enough. I just want to see another week of him playing 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And if he can do that, then he's one that I'll look
Definitely
at next week.
More appeal, yeah.
But I think he should be able to play 80 minutes, and I think...
Yeah, definitely.
I think if he was playing for any other team in the NRL, I'd get him in.
For sure, yeah.
But Ricky does some weird things.
He does.
For the Broncos, same 17, so they played really well.
Yep. Mate,
They've
they
got
awesome.
Obviously all the cheapies from the Broncos are doing well, so hopefully they can keep doing well.
Yep, pretty much. We can skip this one.
Game of the round.
Yeah.
Eels.
I can't believe we conceded 56 points or 50 points, whatever it was.
Eels and Tigers. Could be a good game. Maybe. I don't know.
It's a rematch from last year, the Spoon Bowl.
Spoon Bowl rematch. Well, the Eels got up last year in the Spoon Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not confident this time.
They've got good form.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
They're
sure.
coming in with the...
Oh, for good. Yeah.
With the wood over them. So
we'll see.
With the wooden spoon over them.
Yeah, that's it.
But a couple of changes for Parramatta.
Yeah, I'm looking. Jordan Samrani.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Samrani in for... the winger Tungo, who I thought was all right.
Good, yeah.
I didn't think he was the reason why we conceded 56 points.
No, not at all.
Just quietly, but
yeah. I mean, there's other players, on the field, but
yeah.
Anyways,
Tuolangi is out, and he is out completely. He's just been
dropped,
gone to reserve grade, and rightfully so, to be honest. Sean Lane is back, so he's probably one to keep an eye on as well. I'm just worried with
Sean Lane.
Sean, I'm just worried with him.
Yeah.
He just worries me. He's a worrying. At his best, he can be very good, and there's a lot of value there.
Look,
but
definitely,
you just don't know.
Yeah, at his best, he's a 600, maybe 600K, player. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Give it some time.
The thing is with Dylan Brown as well, you don't know what's going on there. Whether if Parramatta are at the point where they've kind of given up on their season and making finals, do they just drop him?
Already first run in.
Yeah, pretty much. Or is there the potential of him going to the Knights a year early? Does he get released?
Well, that's what I thought. That's
a bit
what
of
I
money in
thought.
the salary cap.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I thought maybe midway through he's going to change. But did you see the contract? It's like 14 mil for like 10 years.
It's crazy.
It's the same as Ponga's.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like 1.4 million a year.
I mean, you can't say no to it. Like,
no, you can't. No.
I've heard a lot of people, obviously, we're both Parramatta fans. A lot of people in the Parramatta, I guess, Facebook groups and that kind of thing, giving it to Dylan and saying, there's no loyalty and all that.
Yeah, all that stuff, yeah.
It's pretty hard to turn down $14 million.
Exactly. And mate, he's a great player.
Yeah.
He deserves more.
Yeah.
He has to be in the finals every year. So
yeah, I don't think you can. I think you can blame the club, and I think you can blame the whole contract and the player options and all of that. But I don't think you can blame the player for taking that. Like, regardless of how his form is and how he's playing and whether he's worth that money or not. Yeah. Someone offers you that amount of money. It's pretty,
very tempting. Yeah, very tempting.
Yeah,
no, I agree for sure.
I don't think there's many people turning that down.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for Parramatta. There's a couple of players on the bench and stuff, but just
not much happening.
Not worth talking about. For the Tigers, big ins for them. Coruscant's in, Buller is in, and Stafford Toa, he is also in. So
I'm a bit concerned because I'm a Adam Dewey owner, so I'm hoping that Happy doesn't take the kicking role. But
I don't think he does.
They're pretty confident with Dewey at the moment. I've heard.
I think he kicked pretty decent.
Yeah.
On the weekend, I think he only had 2 shots, but he got them both. So
we got 40 points in base, and I will say Skelton, mate. He had good, 22 runs, I think.
Yeah,
he looked really good. Yeah. He's one to keep an eye on for sure.
But yeah, we do. I think I'm pretty confident that he keeps the goal kicking. He goal kicked in the trials with Appy on the field.
Yeah.
So I'd be pretty confident with that. I'm looking to bring him in this week. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Not sure yet, but we'll touch on that in a second. We'll touch on it now. Oh, actually, no, we won't. There's another game.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dogs and Titans. Here we go.
Doggies and Titans. For the Doggies, not much changes. I don't think any changes by the looks of it. Curran is back from his suspension, so he comes in. And Kurt Mann's been named, surprisingly. I thought he would be out with that eye. You see the photo of his eye? It looked pretty bad. But he's good to go. So that's it for the Titans. We'll go through their whole team because they had the bye. So Keanu Kinney, I think he's a good option at fullback.
He's awesome. He's quick, zippy. Love him. Yeah. He's great.
He doesn't quite have the base, I don't think, but he's got so much. And when you look at this Titans side, I think they've gone all out attack, which is very un-Des Hasler-like. I don't think he's ever coached a side like this.
This lightning, this quick, so much,
And I think this match in particular, Titans and the Bulldogs up against each other, you could not get 2 polar opposite teams.
Exactly. Best defense in the league and possibly one of the best attacks in the league. So,
because I can see the Titans being a really, really super coach relevant side this year. 100%. I can see them getting, they might get smashed, but they might put 30 points.
100%.
They might, 30, 36.
Exactly.
Shootouts, I think I see from the Titans. So Keanu Kinney, I think he's going to be heavily involved with that.
100%.
Khan Pereira, he's one that, could always go on a run. Again, no base. I can't rely on it. I just couldn't do that to myself because if he doesn't score a try, he's getting you 10 points.
Exactly.
But on any day, you can get you 3 or 4 tries
100%.
and score 120. So, Brian Kelly, he's always kind of safe. He's always been a pod kind of around the origin time where you look into. But I wouldn't be starting with him.
I mean, his base is decent. Like he looks for a couple of tackle breaks, but he does make some errors at times.
It's a frustrating watch.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, definitely.
Philip Sani, probably not.
No.
Jojo Fafita, I wouldn't go there either.
Same.
Their halves are interesting. AJ Brimson and Jaden Campbell at halfback.
I went back and forth with AJ Brimson for a long time.
He's got a really handy jewel as well in the centre wing.
Yep, and he looks good. He's about 500k from memory, and I think it was 500k, or it could be more. but he looks good.
539k. So there's certainly some value there.
He can easily be a 700k player on his good day.
Yeah.
Same with Jaden Campbell. Because I had Jaden Campbell last year for a couple of rounds and he was awesome.
Yeah. Jaden Campbell at halfback is interesting. I don't think he's ever played halfback. I think he's always been 5'8". 5'8" and fullback.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. There's no like really, there's no game manager. There's no Kieran Foran here to kind of steer them around. It's just all out attack. So it'll be interesting to see. They're not going to, play for field position, and they're not going to have a big kicking game. But they're going to try some things. They're going to be
very zippy.
They're going to be very zippy. They're going to run the ball.
You've got Jaden, AJ, and Kenny. I
think there's going to be a period where all three of them we're talking about being, must-haves almost. It could be in that position, but there is risk there.
Especially during the Origin period as well, because none of those players will probably play Origin, so they're probably the time you can pick them up as well.
Yeah.
So
maybe Brimson gets a look in on the bench.
In Queensland, possibly.
But probably not. You've got Walsh, you've got
so many good
Ponga
players.
there. There's probably not the option for another.
Exactly. Yeah.
Their forwards, Fodawaker. I like him.
Yeah.
I just don't know about the minutes with Regan Campbell-Gillard joining their pack this year. I can't see him playing huge minutes. They've got probably one of the best.
I was going to say it's massive.
Game.
It is huge. You got the Theta, Firma, Tino, RCG, Fodawaker, even Jolliffe.
Yeah,
he's great as well.
He was great last year, Jolliffe.
Yeah.
If he could find a big minute starting role, I'd be all over him. But you can't go him off the bench. But
no.
Sam Verrills, does he interest you at all? No, me either.
There's too many hookers though in the chip position. You got Corey Pakes, you got Mamazelos,
and I think he's pretty expensive from memory. 416.
He's awkward. It's a very awkward price. It's just tough. There's too many hookers out there.
And Randall on the bench as well. He's going to take minutes off him. So
that's Mitch's player. He loves Chris Randall.
Does he?
Yeah.
Cleese Haas, Bo Firma in the second row. Bo Firma I had pretty much all of last year. I think he was really
awesome.
good for me. Just solid.
Does he still have the dual status, or is he just second row?
No, he should. He played a lot of centre last year.
Yeah.
I think he even played wing one game.
Because of his dual. Yeah, okay.
He's just a little bit too expensive. 593. I don't think there's much value there, but he's certainly a solid option. Like you're not going to be disappointed by him.
He's very similar to Dylan Lucas, that sort of caliber, So,
the only thing with Firma is if there's any injury at all to the outside backs, he's the first one that moves. And
exactly.
It was frustrating last year when I did own him, and he was solid. He was like looking like he'd get 60 in base, and then he'd get shifted out to the centres, and he'd end up with 45. And disappointing. But Tino, you got him?
Yep. Big fan.
Yeah.
For that price, it's hard to turn down.
Yeah.
Mate, he's going to be 700k, you think, at least.
He's 530k at the moment.
Yeah, he is so cheap.
There's so much value there. The only thing that worries me with him is whether they ease him back because they have such a good forward pack.
Yeah.
Does he play, 40 minutes for the first few rounds, just kind of ease him back into it? Yeah. But they're going to want to win. They need their best players.
100%.
And they're by far and away a better team with him on the park.
100%,
yeah. And then on their bench, really interesting here. Obviously Randall, but David Fafita, the big one.
I know. That's interesting. But once he comes on, he'll get you probably 60 points regardless. At least, even if it's 40 minutes. But still, it is very interesting that he's coming off the bench. I had him in my team for a long, long time. 2% ownership, great pod, but he's on the bench, so it's interesting what they're going to do there. I
had him in as well. I traded him just before the start of the round, and I'm glad I did looking at this. I think I don't like him off the bench.
Yeah.
I think he probably doesn't score too badly. He came off the bench a little bit last year. He probably scored quite similar to whether he started or whether he was off the bench. He was a bit more involved off the bench because he was only playing 55, 60 minutes. But I want to see him play 80 minutes. There's more opportunities for him to cross over and run over people and get those tackle breaks and get all those points. So I'm not a fan of him on the bench. Yeah. But if you've got him, I think he's certainly one that you can kind of watch and not panic about.
Yeah, exactly.
For now, and you can play with pretty much confidence that he's going to still get you a decent score.
100%. I agree.
And then next week, maybe have a look at but I think he's worth a week because who knows? Next week, Titans lose this game and he's back in the starting side. So
exactly.
Yeah, you've got him now. You might as well just.
I'd play with confidence and just see how the team lists go next week and then go from there.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Let me talk through my trade. It's only one that I'm considering, and it's Metcalf.
Yep.
And the only reason I want to trade him, if I didn't have to play him, I wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
But I have Munster as my other 5'8", so I've got to play Metcalf this week.
Yep.
And I'm not feeling overly confident. Now, the one that I'm looking at is Dewey.
Yep.
Very similar pricing. I think Dewey might even be like 10K cheaper.
Yeah.
He's goal kicking.
Yeah.
And the Tigers' draw in the next 6 or 7 weeks is really good.
It's decent, yeah. Well, I've got Dewey in my team. I'm pretty happy with him.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get rid of him very soon, so.
And now, I know I said, I wouldn't be trading players. You picked them for a reason.
Yeah.
Unless their roles change, I wouldn't be trading him this week. But with Metcalf, I think his role has changed because I expect him to be a bit more involved than what he was. Looking at him, he just didn't look good.
Yeah. Well, what's Warriors run like? I know they've got a tough team this week. Who they're versing this week? Warriors.
The Warriors, Manly.
Yeah. So that's, even that. I know they're playing at home, but Manly look great.
Yeah.
And who do they have afterwards, actually? If we go to Metcalf.
That's last year, is it?
No, that's this year.
That's this year. Manly, then they have the Roosters, Tigers, Melbourne, Broncos, Newcastle.
Nice. Yeah, you've got Roosters okay, but then Tigers they're pretty decent now.
Yeah.
Melbourne, Broncos, and Newcastle, that's tough.
Yeah. It's not a good draw. It's not a bad draw. It's kind of, doesn't excite me. You look at Adam Dewey's draw. He plays Parramatta twice in that 7-week period.
Yeah.
So he plays Parramatta this week. Then he plays the Dolphins.
Yep.
Then he plays New Zealand.
Yep.
Then the Broncos, a bit of a tough game.
Yeah.
But then he plays Newcastle and then plays Parramatta. So that period there, I think Dewey could, he's only got to score a couple of attacking stats in that period. He'll make money.
Look, give or take, he'll get you probably at least 35 points in base, including kicking if you want to put it that way as well.
Yeah.
And then, he might sneak in a try, a line break or line break assist.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more attacking threat now with Tigers. So, and he's a great player. Like, I love watching Dewey. I think he's awesome.
Well, that's it. Like, I'm trading, a goal kicking player for a goal kicking player that I trust a lot more.
Yeah.
That has a better draw.
Yeah.
So that's the way I'm looking at it. And I'm making 10K out of it. Like, it's not like I've got to go up for him. And I trust him better. And as I said, if I didn't have to play him this week, I probably wouldn't make the trade.
Yeah.
But I feel like Metcalf, I don't think he's going to get another 12, but I think he could definitely hit me with a
30
or 30.
Yeah.
Dewey up against Parramatta, I think he could go off. I think he could score a couple tries.
For sure.
Obviously, new edge combinations as well with the new winger. So, and I think that's on his side.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on that.
Yeah. But so I'm not one to make trades straight away, but I don't mind that trade, to be honest. Like Dewey,
You looking at any trades?
Not at the moment, no. I'm usually a bloke that loves to give the boys about 2-3 weeks, see how they go, give them a chance, and we'll go from there. Yeah. So, but I mean, I will say Metcalf is up there, but time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah. As I said, I think if I didn't have to play in Metcalf and he's your second 5'8", and you've got a Dylan Brown, or you've already got a Dewey, or you've got another gun 5'8" that you're comfortable playing.
Yeah,
I think you definitely wait a week because there's every chance he comes out this week and gets 70 points, and
exactly.
He's only got to get a try assist or two, which he's capable of.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if I was to make the trade, I'll probably, if I get rid of Metcalf, I'll move Dewey to 5'8" and probably look to get Jesse Arthurs. His base is not there.
Yeah.
But Broncos, they look good. He does look a bit better this season.
The only thing that worries me, he's got the same role as he did last year. Like, nothing's changed, but the Broncos do look better. So it's just how much you're buying into
it's
what
more
you
of a punt,
see.
and hopefully get the cash. So,
let's get through the top trades for the round.
Let's do it.
Because it'll be interesting to see what these are. Trade out Metcalf. I'm not surprised by that.
Stefano.
That's interesting.
That's weird.
Again, like, what's changed? Yes, he's got the bye this week,
still,
but
you got him in for a reason.
You can't trade players just because they have a bye. You're gonna burn through all your trades by round 7.
Exactly right. Yeah, and you need your trades later on because it might stuff you up in the grand final. Yeah. I know, from memory.
But yeah, yes, he didn't play great. He got a couple of errors. His minutes were maybe down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Unless you expected him to go to Melbourne and play 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not going to do that. And that's why you're trading. I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't see how you would have picked him up expecting him
to kill us straight away.
Yeah.
In this, yeah.
So that's an interesting one. If you've picked him up for a reason. I don't think anything's changed in that regard. So hold on to him if you've got him. He could be a handy pod.
100%. I agree.
Tyrone Munro makes sense. He's not playing. He's out for a little while, I think. So that's fair enough.
The Warriors guy.
Yep, the Warriors guy.
Yep, that's one.
He is being traded out too, which I kind of get. But it's also like who are you trading to?
That's the thing.
And how much confidence. If you're trading him to like one of those Broncos guys, I'm not that keen on it because like, yes, they scored like Jaweski. He scored 60 with a try. He gets 25 this week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, is it worth the trade?
And also, like,
when someone else could kill it this week,
exactly
and you
right.
get him in.
And also, like Broncos players, they've got a couple injuries, so once they get back, you expect Jack to leave the side. So
like I'm fine with trading him out, but I question
like
why
who?
this week you're not playing him. Like surely you're not relying on him in your 17s.
Yeah.
So I would just hold a week. Assess all the options next week.
Yeah.
And we're going to be a lot more aware of who the options are.
It's like I think a possible option will be getting rid of him and get that Dragons player you actually mentioned off the bench. So,
I mean, if you've got the jewels, you get him in.
Yeah.
And we'll know next week kind of, with the David Clemmer situation, with all that, how his role will look.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's a much better option. So, just hold your horses.
Yep, 100%.
Casey McLean, this I do not get at all.
No.
He's playing. He's been named.
Exactly.
Yes, he scored fuck all points last week, but
he's a good player.
That was because he got knocked out in 3 minutes in.
Exactly.
Like, you can't blame him for that.
It's so hard to get rid of any wingers or fullback from Panthers because they're going to score.
And again, you've picked him for a reason. You picked him because he's playing for the best side in the comp.
100%.
It's not like Penrith played terrible. They still show that they're a fucking good team.
Yep.
He's still a winger for them. He's going to still score tries.
Yep.
I don't understand this whatsoever.
I'll hold for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. It's not like his role's changed or anything. He hasn't, got moved onto the bench or he's not in the team anymore. He's still on the wing. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, strange. Purdue, everyone's selling him. Again, just relax.
Yeah, just chill. I wouldn't get rid of him.
He scores a try this week and all of a sudden everyone's going to bring him in.
Exactly. He'll make you like 100K over 2 weeks after the try. So
Mitch Barnett. Look, he's 661K. He's expensive and he's probably not going to have the role or the minutes that he did last year. So I kind of get it, but again, just
give it some time. So like just check his minutes first, maybe 2-3 weeks, and then you sort of understand what his role is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get rid of him straight away.
I think a lot of people go on him to Haas.
Yeah.
Which...
Mate, he looked bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
That's crazy to say.
Yeah.
Like he's made the blokes massive and he's just looked better.
He didn't play many minutes. He only played about 45 minutes.
But he was destructive. Like he looked good. Really good.
Harry Grant, again, like you're selling him because he's got to buy. It's
the same issue. You got him in for a reason. He's the best hooker in the game.
Yeah.
Don't sell him.
Yeah. Like I've got him. I haven't thought once about selling him. Like I picked him up because with all the cheapy hookers and all that, I thought, fuck it, I'll just get the best one. And you know that you can rely on at least until the origin period.
Yeah.
And then you make a decision there. But not for a bite. Like that's insane to me. Like if you've got to play your Sandon Smith and you've got to play some cheapy hooker that you don't really trust.
Yeah.
The great thing about this year, you've got your flex.
100%.
So if they shit the bed and get you 15 points, their score's probably not going to go into your team anyway because you're going to get your flex. So
hold the trades. Yeah. Save the trades for sure.
Nanai, this I get. He's been dropped. He's probably the only one on this, or a couple, but one of the few on this list that I agree with.
Yep. Yeah. If I'm a Nanai owner, I wouldn't be confident at all. I'll be getting rid of him for sure.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of second row options that we've spoken about. Your Hoskins, even probably not your feeder, but
Dylan Lucas,
Preston, Dylan Lucas. There's enough out there for sure. So I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Alex Seyfarth. I wouldn't be trading him again. Like he got HIA. He plays 80 minutes. He gets an extra,
10 points,
8 to 10 points.
Yeah.
He didn't see the ball. He's playing Parramatta this week.
Yeah.
Just
give
it another week.
I think so as well.
It is frustrating. Like he's one that was a tough watch because he didn't get involved, and you're like, are they going to leave him out all season? Is he going to get involved? Are they just going to go the other side? But
I mean, they're starting him for a reason. Yeah, they must like him. So
he's got the role. Like it's not like he's playing 50 minutes off the bench. It's not like he's being subbed off. Like you got HIA. That's why his minutes are low. If you're just looking at the minutes and being like, oh, he only played 55 minutes or 65 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was because of a HIA. So just relax. Let him play this week. He looked like he was going to play 80 minutes.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play 80 minutes this week, by all means, he's a trade next week. But I think for now, just wait on him.
I agree.
We'll go through trade in Payne Haas. I think fair enough.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
If you can make it work,
definitely.
I can't talk you out of it. But again, it's just who are you trading out for him?
That's the thing.
Are you trading out
Stefano?
Is
it really worth it? Yeah.
I don't know. Probably is, to be honest. If you go Stefano to Payne Haas, it's a decent upgrade. But
it's all Broncos players. Look at this. Top 4.
Big on the Broncos. Shibasaki. This one I wouldn't go this week. I would wait a week. Again, he could get nothing.
Exactly.
Score 15 points this week.
Just wait until the price
money,
rise. Just wait until you see his break even. Just know what he's going to, his price projected is.
Yeah.
Just keep it there.
Jack Jaweski. This one I'm like very, very adamant that you shouldn't trade him.
No, I'm not picking him up.
I think there's a very real possibility come next week. He's looking at maybe making maybe a 30 or 40K price rise, and that's it. And it's not worth burning 2 trades over. If you started with him, great, happy days. But
you're loving it.
Yeah, he's not one to buy it, especially not this week.
Yeah.
Next week, if he scores another try, gets another 60 points,
life.
Sure.
Might as well take the quick cash, and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
Jesse Arthurs, one that you're keen on?
Yeah. I just think because they got so much attacking upside there. His base is not there, but he can score good tries at any given moment. So
well, he's playing on the wing outside. Reece. The only thing is, he's on that left. Reece Walsh. I feel like he kind of goes more right than left. But but either way, like
with the addition of Ben Hunt, there, it's just like
that's it. With Ben Hunt,
they look good.
Well, last week they did go more left. I felt with Ben Hunt there. So maybe that could be a decent play. If he does get more involved, obviously if they went more right last year, now with Ben Hunt they're going more left.
Yeah, well they got more options now. So yeah.
Well, that's it. They got strike all across the park, don't they?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Tupanua. What do you reckon about that?
He looked good, but I wouldn't get him because he's off the bench and it's a big pack.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got Preston, you've got Cacao, like it's just, I wouldn't get him personally. I'll stay away. But obviously he did look good. He looked great, but not for that price.
He looked great, but he's playing 40 minutes off the bench.
Exactly.
He scored 2 tries. Like
you're relying on his tries to make him money. So
if he doesn't score the tries, he probably gets 30. And it's not like he's bottom dollar. Bottom dollar, different story.
Exactly.
He's 425k. Like
he's awkward price. It's a mid range.
Yeah. Tamale.
He looked great.
He did.
He looked awesome.
Looked good. I think it's another one you just wait a week on.
Yeah.
Just because of his job security,
you can't trust Ricky.
I don't think he plays next week. I really don't.
Nah. Well, I think
Xavier Savage comes up. I think
I was gonna say
the only reason he plays if he gets in over Hopewade, but Ricky seems very loyal to his players. Like Hopewade was there last year. I think he's going to stick with him.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
He only missed week 1. He missed through. It was an injury or a suspension or something, or because he couldn't go to Vegas or
something. Yeah,
there was a reason behind it. He didn't just. I think he stayed in Australia because he's having a kid or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was dropped and now he's in because of Xavier Savage's suspension.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't technically ever out of the team. So I just would wait a week on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Robert Toya. This one I think is fair enough. If you didn't get him, I think he's a good option.
Yeah.
Again,
I'd still wait a week just until the price rise. You never know what he might get 10, 20 points. Yeah, he did look good. Yeah, look really good. Obviously, for that price, you can't go wrong. But I'd wait another week just before the price changes.
Yeah,
save a trade.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
The only thing with that is obviously you only have 2 trades through with a boost next week. So you might have to, if you've missed out on a whole heap of cheapies. You might have to go early on one of them. And he's one that I would feel comfortable going early on. Whereas the others have a lot more question marks that I wouldn't feel comfortable with. But I think in an ideal world, you want to wait.
Yeah.
But just,
it depends on your team.
Have a look with what cheapies and what trades you want to make next week with that price rise. And whether you can fit them all in. If you can, wait.
Yeah.
If not, then you might need to bring in someone like a Toya.
Just one trade and then sort of go from there.
Ethan Strange is a very interesting one. I don't really like this. 484K. He's very kind of priced at what he's going to do for you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm assuming this is people wanting to trade Metcalf.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be trading him to Ethan Strange. That's very, very sideways.
And I think so as well. There's a lot more options out there. Yeah, for sure.
As we spoke about, I think Dewey is a much better option than Ethan Strange.
I agree.
Trust him a lot more.
I agree.
Olakuatu.
He looked awesome.
He looked great. Yeah.
He is so good.
I don't have him, but he's one that I could be looking at. Not this week, but he looked good. Yeah. Very destructive.
I had Feeder literally the whole time, and then I went to Olakuatu about a couple of hours before. Very happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Cherry Evans. I'm surprised to see him in. Not that he's a bad player, but who are you trading for him? Are you trading Cleary and Hines for him?
That's the thing. That's the two players you want. Yeah. No one else. I mean, credit DC. The guy's like fucking 44 years old and he's still killing it. Good on him. He's a bit of a grub, anyways. But he's a great player. Awesome player. Like
100 on him.
100. Yeah, he does. 130 points and he looked great. He was everywhere. If it was kicking goals, he'd had more appeal to me. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, you got Cleary and Hines in that position. It's just like, He's great over the origin period. Like once Cleary and Hines play for Origin, if Hines does get picked, Cherry Evans will be on my team, I think, for sure. But other than that, it's just tough.
Well, he captains Queensland, so
probably not an option. Yeah, my bad. He does play for Queensland. Next one, brain fight.
That's probably it.
Yeah,
that's probably it.
Yeah.
What about captains?
It's tough because you've got Knights playing the first game. Then you've got, who was it afterwards? Was it? So Knights playing first and then Manly's playing the second game and then Panthers playing a third game. So if you're a Ponga, Turbo, Cleary owner, it's tough. You can go with any. Personally for me, I've got Ponga vice captain and I've got Cleary captain at the moment.
I think Cleary against the Roosters at CommBank. It's not at their traditional home, but it's still, they're going to get a home crowd there. And
100%.
I don't know what the weather's like, but if the weather's going to be good Friday night, then I'm jumping on. The only thing that scares me if there's a bit of rain around.
I think it's clearing up on the weekend. I did see it was like on Saturday it was like about 36 degrees. Friday's about 30 something degrees, so it should clear up by then. Well, we'll see.
Friday, 34 and sunny. Yeah. Jump on, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably vice captain one at Ponga or Turbo, I'd
Just trying to think if there's any other options for captaincy. Like it's not really...
Hines against the Cowboys, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pod. Nice little pod captain you can go over there.
You go really safe and just go like a Payne Haas or you go a May. Who you know May's going to get you 70 points.
Yeah. But it's hard to turn down, Turbo, Ponga or Cleary.
I love chasing the upside though.
100% all day.
Yeah, I think.
Who do you reckon? Who are you feeling this week? You reckon Cleary?
I think Cleary.
And what about your vice captain?
Probably Tom Trbojevic, I would say.
Yeah.
I think.
Can't go wrong with either two.
Yeah.
It's just go for your gut.
He's one player that would scare me if I didn't have something on him.
He looks like this year as well, especially.
He's just the kind of player that, as we know, he could score 150 points just
in like literally 15 minutes.
Yeah,
literally. Not even kidding you. Yeah.
There's probably not anyone else I'd really consider.
No.
Maybe if you wanted to go really, really pod, you can go like someone from the Tigers. You go a Dewey, or a Jerome Luai, potentially.
Maybe, possibly, yeah.
You'd need some balls for that.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Maybe someone...
Walshy,
yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Against Canberra. I did like what I've seen defensively from Canberra, though.
Yeah.
It's at home as well at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Yeah. It's not the easiest of road trips.
No.
But I don't mind it, but I probably wouldn't.
It's tough because you know how Brisbane right now, they're attacking threats all over, like they looked great.
Yeah.
And then Walshy's got that speed in him. He looks zippy. But, I mean, when you've got Cleary against Roosters at home, then
the way the Roosters played last week was just terrible.
It's tough to watch if you're a Roosters fan.
They looked awful. Sandon Smith was
a lot of errors.
Not great defensively.
Yeah.
And I think Cleary and Penrith are just going to be targeting that all night.
100%. Yeah.
I think Liam Martin could be in for
a big one.
A big game.
Yep. Don't mind that.
Put him in your anytime try scores.
Yep.
Let's have a look at our league quickly before we go.
It's a pretty big turnout.
It is. We've got a fair few players this year, which is very, very good. 67 at the moment.
That's awesome.
If you haven't joined, it's not too late. The code is 382783. I think we'll be closing around 5 or 6. I think I've got it set to.
Yep.
So just make sure you join in there. And obviously the winner, end of the year, they get a free NRL jersey.
Beautiful.
So,
free entry.
Free
Can't
entry.
go wrong.
That's it. You don't have to pay anything. Follow our page if you haven't. Subscribe to all that stuff. But no entry fee. So we got Stoners from Ty winning with 1,391.
Good
so that's
first
not
week.
bad.
Well
Mitchie, he's coming in at 4.
Mitchie, well done, mate.
He's starting strong here.
That's
It's
huge.
all downhill from here for him.
And Shooter.
But,
nice.
1, 3, 4, 5 for Mitchell. Where are you coming in at?
Oh, yeah, just a bit further down. Probably, I don't know, probably maybe 30 maybe. I don't know, who knows.
There I am.
Nice.
There I am at number 21.
Yeah, I think I'm around the 30 mark maybe. Who knows? Keep dropping. Oh, that back up, 32.
32. That's all right.
That's all right. First week.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We'll take it.
Yeah. You don't want to peak too early.
No. So just make a little special shout out to Shooter, Mladen, Mickey. Well done, mate. He's going to come in 5th. Good on him.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Mitchie, hey?
Mitchie.
Good on him.
Carrying the podcast.
He, who did he pick up? He got Xavier Savage.
Yes,
that's right, yeah.
He's got some, let's go through his team because he's got some rogue picks, but they've worked out for him.
He's done awesome.
He got Hosking as well, which is really good. Preston.
Duncan. Okay.
Tallis Duncan, who got 49, which is...
Egan.
Didn't think he would off the bench, but he did.
Munster, nice. Meany. Well done. Yeah, okay. And Arthur's...
Meany, Savage with 114.
Wow, his centre wingers and fullbacks killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, fullbacks pretty much stock standard, like everyone has those players, but his centre wingers, wow.
Centre wings, yeah.
That's where he killed it the most.
That's it. Yeah.
And his
Xavier Savage was a huge one for him.
Yeah.
He did well there. Meany.
Yeah.
Meany could be a decent shout, to be honest, with his goal.
I always liked him,
He's not bad. He's just a bit expensive for 690. He was around 550. I'd probably go in. But
yeah, it's a bit similar to Isako. I feel the same.
Yeah.
Those two, I feel like you can't go wrong. They'll get you 50 points, maybe, or 40 points at least.
Yeah.
But this very awkward price. It's pretty high, and also you rely on attacking stats more of those blokes.
Yeah.
But you think Melbourne will get you a lot of tries. Dolphins, you think they're pretty attacking as well. But
yeah.
So,
no worries. You got anything else to add?
That's all. That's awesome. Yeah.
No worries. Make sure you subscribe. Give us a follow. Any advice that you want, let us know. Drop down a little comment. We'll get back to you. Just down there.
That's it.
One of those ones. We'll get back to you. Give you the help. Probably don't need it, to be honest. I'm sitting at 21st, so probably...
Yeah, I'm like 30-something.
Yeah, probably don't need our help. We'll ask Mitchie. He'll help you.
Yeah, that's it. Ask Mitchie. Get the X-Men, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Obviously, we'll keep doing this every week.
Awesome.
And
Beautiful.
See you later.
Sounds good.